I'm so excited to be live with you today to show you the final version of this book without the KDP proof, not for resale ban that I showed a couple videos ago, and just to celebrate with you guys live for a little bit that my paperback, my physical book, you guys have seen the ebooks come out last year, but my physical book is here, my YA fantasy on Wings of Ash and Dust. It's so pretty and so big. Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about all the things. But before I get too deep into everything we're gonna do today, all the fun we're gonna have, I will say this is probably gonna be a shorter release party than I usually have. Part of that is just planning, part of that is being pregnant and not being able to talk for long periods of time without losing breath. But I'm super excited to share some really fun things with you guys and chat with you because a bunch of you are live. And if you're here watching the replay, you can chat with me in the comments afterwards. I'd love to talk with you. But before I tell you what we're going to do today to celebrate, I would love for those of you that are live or on the replay to let me know, have you read the ebooks, the whole series in ebook form so far? Or have you been waiting for the paperback? And a few of you are even saying in the comments that you've already ordered it, which I'm so excited about. Some of you are getting it Thursday, making me so happy. So let's, I'm gonna let you guys type for a couple seconds, but I'm also gonna pop up just the fact that it's here. It's on Amazon. There's the link down below if you're too excited and you just want to order it right now. But I do have some other bonuses that I'm really excited to share with you guys as well. I don't know how to like hold this so you can still see it. But today we are going to celebrate in a few different ways. And I think I can pull, I can pull this up and you guys can still see me in the corner. It's very exciting. So today we're going to celebrate by recapping a little bit, just a very quick, what's this book about, in case any of you are popping on, you're like, hey, I like the cover, but what is it about? We're going to take a look at the paperback one more time in its final version. And I'm also going to tell you how you can get 6 free book-related bonuses just by ordering the book this week during release week. So we're going to show you all the book bonuses and talk to you how easy it is once you buy the book to sign up for that. And then finally, we're just going to close with a little chatty chat, Q&A time, answering, we got my face in the way here, hold on, answering your book and writing related questions. So it can be about publishing, marketing. I got a few of you guys sending me questions from Instagram that we'll start out with. And if you have questions right now, don't put them in the chat quite yet because I will probably forget about them. So just go ahead and hold on to them. You've got to write them down. You can do that. And then we will get back to this at the end. So I'm really excited. And I do want to say just like hi to a bunch of you in the comments before we get going, because there's a lot of you. I'm going to put the book right here. You can sort of see it. Ooh, we'll push it over don't drop it, Britt, on the bookshelf. And let me see who's here. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of you. I know this was like kind of last minute that I announced this, so I'm really just overwhelmed with love that a bunch of you are here. I saw Caitlin was the first one. Thank you, Caitlin. And Dreamer's so awesome and supportive. Can't wait to get my copy tomorrow. So did you already order it? Is it coming tomorrow? I'm so excited. It's Susan's first time here. Hi, Susan. So glad you're here. Thank you, Danya. You're awesome. And I saw JJ, and she says, I can't wait to get my copy on Thursday. So I'm assuming you've ordered it as well, and it's on its way. Hi, Scott. So nice to see you here. Caitlin ordered her copy. So exciting. And if you're just tuning into the live, you're just popping on, we're going to get into some really fun stuff in a second. I'm just saying hi to everybody. And if you're watching the replay, you can skip on ahead. I might put little time markers in here too. Allie, happy release day. Thank you. I'm so glad it looks so pretty. Hi, Martin. It's so nice to see you. And if you can't order it till payday, that is totally fine. I just love that you want to order it at all. So thank you. JJ saying, I've read all the episodes. She's a super fan and she already bought the paperback as well. So I'm so excited. I hope you enjoy this version of it and not just like on your digital device. Susan says she's ordered it. Thank you so much, Susan. Thomas is going to pick up his copy today. You guys are awesome. Can't stay, but want to say hi. I miss you all. Yes, we miss you too. And I'll order the book on payday. You're so sweet, Martin. Thank you. And signed up for the book goodies. So we're going to tell you how to get, there's 6 of them, 6 book goodies that you can get that I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. Hi, Cam. Thank you. Hi, Mary. Yay for all the emojis. And Catherine says, congratulations, I can talk, on the release. Can't wait to order this soon. Thank you. Yay. And Dreamer, yes, I ordered it before release day. Some of you were sneaky and found out, or I might have told our people too, that the book actually published a couple days early because I wanted to make sure there were no issues with it. So some of you ordered it early. And that's what I did so that it would get here by release day. So I love that, but it's arriving tomorrow. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks so much again, you guys, for hanging out with me today. Let's get into some fun stuff. And I think I'm just going to pull my face up here because for this part, we're going to talk about the book and the story itself, just a little recap in case you're just tuning in. You're like, what are we talking about? And I also wanted to show, I actually did want to show this for a second because we have all the ebooks as well that it started out. So first, before we get into that, what is this book about? And then we'll talk about why very briefly it became ebooks first. But I'm going to read the back. I want to show you guys all the things. So this is the back cover. And it has all the ebooks down here because they're all inside this book. We'll talk about why in a second. But I'm just going to read the back to you guys so that you can hear a little bit about the story. So it says, this is the tagline, 5 fairy clans compete for the crown. One pixie pirate could ruin it all. And the actual blurb. Pixie pirate Quinn may be an outlaw, wanted by all 5 fairy clans, but she prefers it that way. All she wants is to finally become a captain in the infamous pirate fleet and bury her true identity beneath the rolling waves. But when the news of her twin brother's sudden death causes her to risk everything she's built to avenge him, Quinn is unmasked for who she really is. Her only hope of escaping certain death in the pixie dust mines is taking her brother's place in the Ethodyne, a dangerous competition for the fairy crown. In a series of death-defying trials, Quinn faces off with a mute beast tamer, a flirtatious merman, a blind artist, and a pompous princess. And all of those people are right there. But as dark secrets unravel and an ancient prophecy entwines their fates, rivals must become allies before there's no world left to rule. Full of action and intrigue with a unique world and fresh take on Fae, this fast-paced YA fantasy adventure is perfect for fans of Six of Crows and The Crow Prince. So hopefully, if you guys haven't read it yet, you're buying the paperback for the first time, that sounds exciting to you. And I'll just give, again, just a little bit of a recap, and I'm sure many of you could actually recap this for me. But the book was originally released as a series of 6 ebooks that you can see on the screen there. And this is because I was releasing it as a serial series where you can actually see the separation here. I'll show you in a little bit, where all the episodes, what are called episodes, shorter like parts of the story, kind of like a TV show. The full story was broken up into these episodes that were released every 2 weeks. And it was kind of a really fun interactive time where I had a bunch of live streams that you can find backlogged on this channel, where we talked about the book as it was releasing and gave behind the scenes stuff and did activities based on the events in the book. It was very, very fun. So I wanted to try out that format. But then I eventually wanted to come out with a paperback that had all of the episodes that you can enjoy and put on your shelf. You can have it there. It's so exciting. So that's the short recap. But if you want to learn more about serials or the individual ebooks, stuff like that, you can definitely look back on my YouTube channel and check that out, or you can ask me questions at the end. But it was a really fun process, but I'm so excited that there's a physical book. And then let me show you some deeper stuff in here. And I will say that there is a video that goes really in depth to show you guys like all the interior stuff. But I just wanted to show you the cover, which is so lovely. And we don't have the band there. The last video I did had like a little not for resale band on here, but we don't have that anymore. And this is what it's going to look like on the shelf with the, what's this called? The spine. I can talk. I can say words. And then you guys already saw the back. But what's really exciting is once you get inside, I'll show you a couple things real fast, is we have this beautiful fantasy map of the world of Phelan, my world of fairies, that my friend created, who is a cartographer in real life. She did such a beautiful job. So as the competitors of the competition go to different places in the world, you can actually follow along in the map and see where they're going, which I think is really fun. I've got a little breakdown of the 5 fairy clans on this page here in the beginning. So if you get lost or you forget what kind of fairy, what do they do, or what do they value, or what kind of wings do they have, that is all there for you as a reference. And then we get into the, oh, this copy has a little bit of a smudge, but hopefully your guys' copy doesn't have this. But once we get into the episodes, it's still broken up into episodes to different parts. So think of like a book that has like part 1, part 2, part 3. That's kind of how this feels. So we have the first one, episode 1, and episode 2. And for some reason, my copy, you can see here, has like little streaks in it. So I'm really hoping that that's just this copy, because all the other copies I ordered before this did not do that. So let me know, or yell at KDP if they do that to yours, and hopefully they'll get you new one. This actually looks perfectly fine, which is great. So that's episode 3 and episode 4, and we're almost there. Episode 5 with Wonderful Hickory. Should be saying the characters. I have a video all about these characters as well that you guys can check out after this if you want. And episode 6, Edge of Fates. And within this, I actually picked also at the beginning of each chapter little headers that have to do with that fairy clan, because we visit different fairy clan every time we go to a new episode. So that's really cool. I think that was all like the main fun little interior things that are specific to the paperback and not yet in the ebooks. I might add a couple of things in there. But yeah, so I just saw, let's see. Oh, hi, Miss. You're very talented. When you smile, the whole world stops. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the chat today. And the last thing that I want to say before I talk to you about the goodies you can get is I was thinking I could just read aloud the first page for you guys. Again, anybody who hasn't read the book. It starts out with a chapter called 4 Years Ago, and I'll just read like a paragraph or so because I always think this is fun. So here's a little sneak peek of the first chapter. I have to get out of here. Fleeing down the cliffside streets of Grey Marrow, I urge my dragon-like wings to quicken through the thick smog. Bladesmiths stoke their forges with early morning fire. Loud hammering, the whine of a sharpening wheel thrums through my body. My eyes sting from the smoke, but at least no one can see I've already rubbed them raw. Blasted tears. As a red sun rises, my vision blurs and I crash into a display of swords. They clatter to the ground. Berating voices call after me for my carelessness, but I don't stop, speeding toward the beach below the mountain. The more the tears fall, the faster I fly as the Gwyllian mantra I claimed just the night before rings in my mind, taunting me. Gwyllians are strong as steel. They do not yield. Magic is a crutch. Laughter is frailty. Tears are poison. I'll just stop there. But that was from Quinn's perspective. She's our main character who narrates the story. And hopefully, again, if you haven't read it already, which I feel like a lot of you who are here on the live probably have, hopefully you enjoy reading that for the first time. So I'll just say real quick before we get into the goodies and then the Q&A is that there's a few newer videos that if you haven't seen them yet, you can see my reaction opening up my book for the first time. And I think there's a few more details maybe that I shared in that video. I did share too that this book is 500 pages long. So, and it would have been longer if I didn't do some formatting to get it a little bit shorter. So you get a chunky book that is a great kind of epic fantasy. So you can check that out if you haven't already. And here's where I told a little bit more about my characters and how you can actually develop your own characters, because I know a lot of you guys that watch this channel are writers and love the craft of writing and talking about that. So if you want to check that out, you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check that out. Lots of really fun videos about this series and also about the craft of writing that you can check out. And now let's get into the free gifts, because who doesn't want to talk about free stuff you can get just by buying the book this week. I also saw David saying, congrats, I'm in England, ordered mine today. Due delivery Thursday, woohoo, yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel so loved today just hearing how many of you are like just going for it and ordering this book. And even if you've already read it, like you want the physical copy, and that just means so, so, so much. And if you guys haven't already, if you've read the book and you haven't posted your review on the book, I would so, so, so appreciate that to get some more reviews on the full book on Amazon. Some of you already have, and I'm so, so grateful. And I'm going to say this at the end too, but those of you that are jumping in, especially for the first time, in about a month or so, I would love to have a book chat, a live book chat here on my channel, talking about all things spoilery about the book, some behind the scenes stuff, because when I originally released the 6 ebooks, I planned to have a wrap up kind of chat when we finished all of that, but it was as the 6th ebook released, I found out I was pregnant, and I started having all of these pregnancy symptoms that made me very tired, and I just couldn't get my act together. So we didn't do it back when the ebooks finished. So I would love to schedule a live stream chat where we talk about all the things, have like a book discussion. You guys can ask me all the questions and share all the theories you have about what's going to happen in book 2, because there will be a sequel to this that I'm already working on. So if you're excited about that and you haven't subscribed to this channel, or you haven't subscribed to my newsletter yet, you'll definitely get all the alerts if you subscribe to those things. But Daniel's saying, I love your writing style. Thank you so much. I mean so much to hear that. And then in the post to Scotland too. Clarify what that means. I'm not following Daniel. I think my brain's just not working. But thank you so much. Okay, who's excited to talk about the gifts? Because I'm excited to give you guys the gifts. And for this, I'm actually going to pull this up. I think this will work. And I'm going to go to my website, which is authorbrittnywang.com. And there is a link. This is the actual page you want to get to, but on my homepage, there's a link close to the top that says like get book goodies. It says like you can order the book by clicking here, and you can get the book goodies by clicking here. I can show you at the end too. But basically what this page says is, on Wings of Ash and Dust, as a thank you for ordering my book by January 31st, which would mean within the first week of release, I'd love to give you some special bookish goodies. So you can view the goodies down below, which I'll show you in a second, and then make sure to order your copy of On Wings of Ash and Dust and fill out this form by January 31st to receive your goodies. So you just click here and it'll bring you to the form. So it'll basically give me the information to then send you the goodies. So excuse me, these are the things that you will get. I have a spelling error there. Behind the scenes booklet is what it's supposed to say, but I'm in the process of finalizing this kind of PDF ebook for you guys. It's a companion guide with behind the scenes notes and videos to enjoy after reading each episode within the novel, and that includes details like what inspired certain scenes and characters, what changed from the first draft to the final, different fun things like that. So there's the cover of it there, and you will get that emailed to you digitally when you sign up with your proof of purchase. You'll also get a link to a Spotify soundtrack, an instrumental soundtrack with a different song for each chapter that you can play while you're reading. It kind of is like a soundtrack as if you were watching a movie, right? So this soundtrack, I've only had time to create it for episode 1, but I've had some people use it in the past to read episode 1, and they really loved it. I listen to it in my free time just because it's a really great kind of cinematic instrumental playlist. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I really tried to match each song's mood to the mood of the chapter and what's going on in the chapter. So you can sign up to get that as well. You only have to sign up once and you get all of these things. Then you'll also get all of these desktop wallpapers. So whether you have a laptop or a computer or an iPad, I think it would work on too, you get to download, there's 7 of these. And so one of them is like all the character art, and these are all just from each individual ebook, and you'll get free downloads of all of these just for ordering the book and signing up for the form. And if you're excited about any of the other merch from my merch store, you'll also get a 20% off coupon that you can get any of the other things. There's mugs like this one. This one's pretty popular because it says Bookish Fairy. Let me pull this up so you can actually see it a little bit. Bookish fairy with the character Veil on the cover, and then it has her wings on the back. So we have one for each fairy clan, which is really fun. We also have zipper pouches, which is always fun for writers especially. So you can put like pens and different things in there. We have t-shirts. I'm going to try to get up for a second. Hold on. All right, t-shirts with all the fairies on them. And yeah, we've got a bunch of other really fun things. Sweatshirts, posters. I added posters recently, stickers. Yeah, so hopefully, again, if you want anything additional besides the wallpapers, then you also get that. And then you also get mailed to you. So this will take a little bit longer than digitally, but you'll get mailed to you a book plate. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. So what a book plate is it is a sticker with the author's signature, and you can stick it inside the book, and it basically makes your book a signed book. I think I showed an example in a recent video, and I had a book that was signed like that. Anyway, sorry, I don't have it on hand, but basically there's a little image there to give you an idea, and right here is where you could put it, right under the title there. So that'll get mailed to you. And then finally, I had a bunch of people vote on which kind of character art, physical character art they wanted mailed to them. And you guys voted. It was close between the bookmark and a postcard that had both the map on one side, the fantasy map, and then the characters on the other. And I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like in real life. So I got these printed up. So you have the character art, you have On Wings of Ash and Dust, you have the fantasy map, and what's really great, and which I've told you guys before, is it actually doubles as a bookmark. And I didn't even plan this, but when you put it inside the book, it actually says On Wings of Ash and Dust at the top, which is really great. So, and it's a thick bookmark, but it fits in there. It's pretty nice. So that will get mailed to you, but with that final thing, that is only going to be available to the first 50 orders, because I only ordered 50 of them because I didn't know how many of them would actually go. So you get everything else no matter what, as long as you order within the first week. But if you really want the postcard, you want to make sure you get in the first 50 orders. And I think I've had at least, I don't know, like 10 people sign up for the goodies so far already today after I promoted it earlier. So make sure the link is down below if you want to sign up for that. Leanne says, happy release day, Brittany. I can't stay. I have a meeting. That's okay. Thank you so much for stopping in and celebrating with me. And then we have Daniel. Sorry, I live in Scotland and I ordered it. I'm expecting it on Thursday. Thank you for clarifying. My brain just wasn't putting the things together. And Mary says, I love the merch, all the merch. Yes, Mary is like the connoisseur of my merch. Every time I turn around, she's like, look what I got. And I'm like, yay. So, and it's really fun because you know, the fairies are competing, right, for the crown. And so my vision was always like, as you're reading, if you become a fan or you find out by taking the quiz on my website, you can find out. I can actually just go here. I'll show you the homepage. You can take a quiz to find out which clan you are. And then as you read the book and you root for your favorite fairy clan, you can actually like get merch that goes with the clan. So let me just show you real quick the two things I was talking about. So when you enter the homepage, here you can get, ooh, did that not update? Hold on. I updated this earlier and it should have, there we go. Available now. Order on Amazon, or you can get the book bonuses. So this is where you click to sign up for the book bonuses. And then down here somewhere, as things are loading, there is the quiz. Yeah, my computer's just being slow, but it says, which fairy type are you? There we go. And you can take the fairy quiz to find out which fairy clan you belong to, which is really fun. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull my face back up here. So you guys have seen all of the goodies and hopefully you really enjoy those, and I'm excited to send them to you. I'll probably send them once this is all over. And the whole week of signing up is over. And let's see. So the last thing I wanted to do is just have a little bit of chat with you guys. I know I've been talking a lot. I'd love to hear from you guys more in the comments and do a little bit of Q&A time. Oops, I need my other screen here. There we go. Q&A. It's been a little while since I've gone live with you guys. But so I have some preset questions from Instagram that a bunch of you submitted. So I was going to start with that. But if you guys have any questions about the book, which now I will put back over here so you can see it in all its glory. So somewhere over there. So if the paperback, anything about the book, about the story, about the actual like physical book, or if you have like a question about the writing process, the publishing, the marketing that I went through, I'd be happy to share a little bit about that stuff as well. And then we'll kind of wrap up. And we're still celebrating a lot over on Instagram. I also have started a TikTok, Brittany Wang Books. If you're over on TikTok, and I'm sharing some exclusive stuff over there, there is definitely more of like all about my books. And then Instagram is like a little about the books and also about just helping you guys as writers and publishing and stuff. So you can continue to celebrate with us over there after we're done today. But let's see, I'm going to kick off the Q&A time with a couple more comments, and then we'll go to the questions. Becca, congratulations. Thank you. Becca also just had her debut published as well. It's a thriller. And so really excited for Becca. Becca, if you want to put the title of your book in a comment, I can put it up on the screen for everybody to check it out. Mary says, my siblings and I are all nymphs and dryads. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Dreamer says, I'm a dryad, which I think is fitting. I love nature. Perfect. Perfect. And then, which was your favorite character write? That's a great question. Okay, I'm going to pocket that for a second. And then, did you self-publish it or use an agent? So agent or publishing house. So I'll answer this one real quick because this is easy. So Scott, I self-published, indie published. I opened my own LLC. And so there's my little logo. But if you look in the beginning pages of the book, it says Fable Song Books right there. And so I am my own publisher, and so far it's been going pretty good. Actually, Sarah Cannon, who's another author tuber on here and wonderful author, very successful, did a whole course called Publish and Thrive for anyone who wants to learn or get better at self-publishing and marketing themselves and running their author business. And if you look down in my description, like farther down in it, there is a link to her course because she's actually opening it up back on February 7th. And I'm like 110% supporter because it's amazing. And if you'd like to use my link, it's an affiliate link and you'd be supporting me with no cost to you. But if you're looking to really get a handle on all of that, I can't recommend it enough because it totally changed my trajectory, my publishing trajectory. And it was so, so helpful. So that was longer than I meant it to be, but actually I'll answer Becca's question now too, because we're here. I don't want to forget it. I've gotten this question a couple times lately, and I think it's really difficult for me to pick one because I feel like I put a little bit of myself in each character. And I got to different points when I was editing the book where I would be like really excited to get to a certain character's scene because they were just like a breath of fresh air. It was just like a totally new person, character and quirks and all that kind of stuff. And if you watch the video where I talked about how to use the Enneagram to develop your characters, you'll see that all of them are very different Enneagram types. But I will say that Quinn has my determination, and even though she's a lot more rougher around the edges than I am, it was really fun to write her and her spunkiness. Hickory is super quirky, and he's just unique and creative and just his own person. So and very sweet. So I think I really liked that about him. Alice starts out kind of quiet and like on her own in the beginning, but she has a huge, huge heart, and she just really wants to help people. And so I loved that about her. Vale is my book nerd, and she could get a little pompous. She's our pompous princess, but I definitely identified with her and like wanting to do a good job in everything she does and learn all the things. And then Aaron definitely has my creative side as well, my more musical side. And he also is very, very loosely based on my husband, which I love, kind of putting him and his Asianness in there a little bit. So, and his very sweetheart. So I can't pick one. Maybe, you know, as time goes on, I'll be able to pick one, but it's just too hard right now. But thank you for asking the question. Let's see. I'm going to probably mispronounce some people's names. So if I do, please correct me because I love to make sure that I'm pronouncing them right. But Avian, I think. Hi, Brittany. Congrats on release. I'm also working on a series for my debut, but getting overwhelmed. Did you draft this series all in one? That's a really great question. And I will just say that if you go to my channel and you type in the word, there's like a search bar on my channel. And if you type in the word serial, SERIAL, all the videos, and I think there's a playlist there too. All the videos where I talk about writing the series, the serial series, are really, really helpful. And again, if you go to my playlist, maybe you should search in the playlist first. And it's basically like all the things that I learned as I was going. So that's a whole nother resource you can check out. But did I draft it all? So I should just hold on to this book because I'm just going to keep picking it up. But the book itself, actually, I wrote it as one novel first. And I was going to try to get it traditionally published, but for reasons that I've explained in many other videos, which you can check out, I decided to self-publish it. And I also saw this thing called serials that people were doing. And because my book was already very easily separated into different segments, because there were different parts of the competition going on in the book, I decided that I want to try the serial format. And so I decided to write or to edit the book as if it was going to come out in installments. And so each part of the series that is now one book had to kind of stand on its own. And so I worked with a developmental editor and beta readers to make sure that each episode really felt like a complete story that then had a cliffhanger that would continue. So I did draft it all in one go, and then I split it up. And I think what I'm going to end up doing for the next serial, which will be book 2 of this, and also a different story that I'm working on, is I probably will at least first draft everything and then edit from there. So I kind of know where I'm headed, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. Also, I'm going to put up Becca's book here that just published as well, The Girl Beyond the Gate. So you guys can check that out, especially if you love thrillers. It looks really intense. Yay for indie publishing. Yes, Catherine. Let's see. Loved the Enneagram video. I'm so glad that was helpful. My main MC is an 8-wing 7 too. Yes, the 8-wing 7s. Yes, the Challenger. They're so fun to write. And I pronounced your name correctly. So excited about that. Awesome. Okay, so I have some other questions that were sent in, so I'm going to try to kind of go through those. And if you guys have more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll keep my eye on there as well. And I'm just going to take a little sip because my throat's getting dry. And I will show you guys. I got this, I think, for my birthday. Was it my birthday or was it Christmas? I don't know. It was one of the holidays recently. And my sister-in-law got this for me, and a dad one for Ben. So that was really sweet. So I've been using that a lot and just being like, baby's coming. Let's see here. And so I'm just going to pull up one more because I saw Mary said, hey, girlie, so excited for your release. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to kind of divide these questions that I got earlier by some of them were like about the book primarily, and then the other ones were about the book, but they were more centered around the writing of the book, the publishing of the book, and the marketing. And I'm watching the clock. I'm going to try to get through these semi-quickly. I always say I'm going to be short, but it never seems to work out. So let's see. So questions I got, one was from Janine. What other magical creatures do you like besides fairies? And I mean, they're kind of already in this book too, but I love dragons. I think dragons are awesome. And mermaids. So I kind of like worked that in there. Shapeshifters. So I worked that in there with the dryads too. Those are the ones that I can like think of off the top of my head. I basically, when I started drafting this book, I didn't know that I was like gonna make a career out of this, back when I was just like had the idea and I was like, I just want to write it. And so I think my brain was like, I'm just gonna put every single thing that, or pretty much every single thing that I love about books and about stories and try to put it into one book. And so yeah, all those other mystical kind of creatures I kind of wrapped into the characters that, and the fake characters that I already have. Um, I got another question just coming here live. Sarah says, I'm a little late. Sorry, I got the Rona. No. So I'm heading while I listen. Congratulations on the paperback release. Thank you, Sarah. And if you want to find out what free goodies I'm giving everyone who orders the book within the first week, there's a link down below, or you could rewind the video a little bit to see those, because there's 6 of them that I'm going to be giving everybody who orders it, just so you didn't miss that information. Continuing with the Q&A, Janine also asks, will you try other genres or subgenres as you continue to publish? And for me, I really, even like my reading tastes are YA fantasy right now, and they have been for quite a while. So I don't know that there's like other genres that I'm like really like totally different genres I'm really excited about, but I do want to dabble in some more like kind of retellings. So I have a whole serial series that I started working on and showing you guys in videos a couple years ago now that I want to get back to, called Sisters of the Shadowwood. And I think I might also dabble in like, you know, fantasy with some sci-fi or some science kind of elements as well, because I tend to like those as well. But I definitely think I'd probably most likely stay in fantasy and just have like subgenres of fantasy, and probably still in the YA, but we'll see. We'll see if that shifts. Well, we'll use this as a time capsule and look back on this in like a year or two and see if we're still in the same place. I did get a question on TikTok. Is the book only available on Amazon? And right now it is exclusive to Amazon because I have my ebooks in Kindle Unlimited. And so I'm kind of stuck just with Amazon, but I've been really enjoying that, and also just knowing that I only have one platform to worry about. So it'll probably stay there for a while, but don't count out the fact that maybe in the next couple years or so, I might try going wide. We'll see. And I did get a question on TikTok too of like, how long is the book? And I said this a little bit earlier, but it is 500 pages with all the front and back matter. And so it's pretty chunky, but I will say that my mom read it, the whole book. She started reading the first couple episodes and she had a lot going on. So it took her like a week or so to get like halfway through. But then when she got halfway through the book, she read the rest of the book in 2 days. So just to, I don't know, for what it's worth, that might be a gauge. Let's see. And I think I saw a couple other things come in here. Amanda, happy release day. Thank you. Amanda already signed up to get the goodies too, so I'm excited to send those to her. You're welcome, Sarah. Yay for science fantasy. Yes, Allie, I'm going to shoot out Allie. She's one of my CPs, and Allie, I'm going to probably mess up the order of the words, so you can put in the title of your book, and I can put it up on the screen. And also Pregnancy Brain will probably mess it up, but Cities of Smoke and Starlight, I think, is the right order of the words, is her science fantasy that's going to be coming out May 4th. So I'm super excited about that. You should definitely follow Allie. She's got a channel on here, and she's on Instagram. So yeah. So let's move into some of the questions I got about the writing process. Let's see. Renee asked, do you regret outlining so heavily in the beginning? How will your outlining process change going forward? And so for me, I have talked about this where like I spent like over a year, and like I'm bad at like remembering timelines, but I feel like it was like over a year, or maybe like 9 months. I don't know. It's about a year where I was like plotting, and I did my series Bibles and all the kind of stuff that I've shown you guys on other videos. And it was really, really helpful because I fleshed out a lot, but I think some things had to keep developing and changing and adapting as I was drafting. And I learned a lot about the story and about the world and the characters and what it needed as I was drafting. So one thing that I've heard from other authors and that I plan to do with the next series is like limit myself in the plotting timeline of maybe like a couple weeks and actually write a synopsis first. So I had a video recently about the best way to write a first draft, or a tip to write about the first draft, and writing a synopsis first and getting feedback on that has been really helpful for other things for me. So I'm probably going to do that and then get feedback and then write the first draft from that feedback and then kind of keep plotting as I go. So yeah, just word of caution, don't get stuck in the plotting forever because things are going to end up changing anyway once you get to writing. And then I got a question from Weslin. How did you decide to do serials instead of one book to start? And I will just say again that it did start as one book. I still have Allie's comment on here. It did start as one book, but I should have. I'll link a video down below where I talk about why I decided to self-publish, which also talks about why I decided to do a serial. But the short answer, I think, is that I saw the format, I saw other authors have excitement around it and have success around it, and I also saw that it really helped them engage their readers and build their fandom and create traction because they always had something new to talk about. And it felt more like a TV show where you were like excited about a new episode coming out rather than like, okay, I buy the book and I read the book and now I'm done and on to the next book. So I really wanted to play with that format and I'm so glad that I did because it was a lot of work, but it was really fun and really rewarding. I saw some other comments come through. Let's see. Avian says that cover is gorgeous. Any hardback cover planned in the future? That is a great question. So originally I was going to come out with a hardback first, but there were a few different things about that. One, just as an indie published author, you actually make even less money on hardback covers than you do on paperbacks or ebooks. It's like you actually make the most money potentially based on how you price things. You tend to make the most money on your ebooks and then your paperbacks and then hardcovers. And so I was like, I'm really proud of this guy. I want to be able to make some of my money back from investing in developmental editors and copy editors and cover designers and all that kind of stuff. And I want to be able to give you guys a product that didn't cost an arm and a leg, even though this book is pretty chunky. So I did price it at a decent price, but if it was a hardback, it would have been even more expensive for you guys. So I felt like the best option for everyone was that I come out with the paperback. I would love to come out with a hardcover at some point, but I feel like by that point, a lot of people would already have their copy in some form. I don't know if everybody would want to order the hardback again. If you guys would want me to really do that, I can definitely work on that. And we would have to do some more like cover design kind of stuff because it needs like other flaps and wrap stuff. But that was kind of my reasoning. I would love to own a hardback cover. It was a business decision and a financial decision also for my readers. So hopefully that makes sense. Allie says, you did good. Thanks. Cities of Smoke and Starlight. Yes. So definitely check out Allie's book if you like science fantasy kind of stuff. I was beta reader and CP for it, and it's gonna be great, you guys. And the cover, she hasn't released the cover yet, but if you like illustrated covers, you're gonna love her cover because it's gorgeous. Let me just say. So Daniel says, do you always recommend a developmental editor or experienced betas on Fiverr, decent substitute if you can't afford a developmental editor? I will just be completely transparent, Daniel, and say that I've only published one book, and I've done the whole series too, but it's all the same content, and I've only done the process with a developmental editor, so I have nothing to compare it to. So take my advice with a grain of salt until I have more experience. But this book grew and just became so much more when I worked with a really good developmental editor who knew my genre, who like worked well with me. It's kind of like a dating relationship where you have to like ask around and like find the right person, because you could also get someone that doesn't do a good job and that's not worth paying for, and beta readers might be better. But I worked with a whole round of beta readers and they were very helpful, but that version that I came out with that then I gave to my developmental editor still needed a decent amount of work. And by the time I was done with my developmental editor and I gave it to my second round of beta readers, it was like in a lot, like so much better shape. And there were just certain scenes and certain aspects that needed to be shifted, but it was pretty good. Allie was one of my final beta readers, so she can tell you the difference between what she read and what ended up coming out. But yeah, so I had a very, very positive experience with a developmental editor. It was pretty pricey, so that's another thing, like budget wise, you have to really think about. But um, I don't feel like I have enough experience to tell you either way, but I think that if you can find a budget friendly developmental editor who is a good fit for you, who is worth the money, I think it's a really great learning experience too that you're kind of investing in as well. And I feel like the things that I learned with her, I can transfer to other books as well. So I know I'm being very vague, but hopefully some of that information helps you make your decision for your book, for your situation. Daniel also says, sorry if that's more of a self-publishing question. Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine. I love chatting with you guys. Catherine says, I love plotting my books, but it can become very easy to get stuck in the outline. I had to teach myself not to over outline and allow myself grace to go off when actually drafting. Right. And I think that's going to happen either way. Just for me, I'm like, okay, the next time I want to make sure that I don't, like get so stuck in the outlining that, I'm spending just as much time drafting afterwards. And is that really worth it? Okay, so let's see what other questions I had. So I had some publishing questions. One was, how did you format 6 ebooks down to 500 pages for a printed book? Because this guy started out when I first, so I'll just say, first of all, I used Vellum, Vellum, and it is a program that you pay for once, but then you get to use for however many books you publish, or ebooks, paperbacks. I don't think they do hardcovers yet, but paperbacks and ebooks they do. And the formatting is just like so wonderful. And it was so easy to put together once I watched a couple of tutorials. So for me, it's worth the money. But when I first like just inserted everything, it was like 636 pages or something crazy. But what Vellum has is it easily allows you to adjust the size of the font and the spacing between the lines. And I think you'll agree that it's not too tiny. Let's see if it'll focus. And there's still a decent amount of space between the lines. And so I played with that just a tiny bit, compared it to other books in my genre just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. And I got it down to 500 pages. So that's what I did. If you're using something else, someone asked a question of what did I use? Did I use Word or Vellum or Google Docs? Because they were having trouble with that. I think it's Rana who sent in that question. Tiffany sent in the previous question. And yeah, I did my ebooks with Google Docs and then uploaded them to Draft to Digital for like the final formatting, and then uploaded it to Amazon or KDP. But the paperback was going to be so much more intricate. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to invest in Vellum. And I think I'm actually going to go back and change the formatting for the ebooks to match the paperback and put it in Vellum and re-upload it to KDP for that too. So I think the last time I talked about Vellum, you guys asked if I would do a quick tutorial about them. I have it on my list. I do have a couple of videos I found super helpful that I could share in the meantime. So if you're like itching to like get into Vellum and you don't want to wait for my tutorial, let me know. DM me on Instagram and I'll send you those couple of videos that I watched that were super helpful. Let's see, I saw another comment come through. Let's see, Avian says, definitely will purchase the hardback if you decide. That's so sweet. Even if it's a collector's edition. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. I probably would like see if we could do like a third edition cover for the hardback, just so like it, has like a unique look too, to make it worth it. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Mary says, at one point during the publishing journey, did it hit that this is really happening? Yeah, I think when I started, this is just off the top of my head as you're asking the question, but I think what comes to mind is like when people started posting reviews and telling me, like, talking to me as the ebooks were coming out, like what they thought of the characters and the story, and like, oh my gosh, that was so exciting, or like that was so like, intense, or I love this scene because it was so funny, or that was really like romantic or whatever. And they had like theories about what was going to come next, and like all of that like kind of fandom stuff is my favorite stuff when I get into books. So I think that was the moment where like I could actually slow down from like all the publishing and the marketing, and like I could see those comments and just be like, oh, this is so cool, this is real people are reading my book and they're enjoying it, and like they're talking about it and they're having theories about it and they're buying my merch, and like it was like a real, it's real, it's really happening. So those are the kind of moments that I like hold on to and get really excited about. Atticus also formats books if you don't have a Mac. Thank you, JJ. That's the other thing. I keep forgetting that Vellum is only Mac users. And so JJ doesn't have a Mac and she started using Atticus. And I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that so other people have an option. Jackie, hi Jackie, says, would you ever do an ebook box set like the ebook version of the paperback? I have thought about that. The only thing with that is I can only, again, price it so high. And if you compare what you would, purchase as you get all the ebooks, and then, buying this book, the ebook box set would probably have to be a pretty big steal to be comparable with other ebooks. And I probably wouldn't make, as a business person, right, I probably wouldn't make a whole lot of money back from that. And I don't know if I would put that in KU or not, or if it would just be purchased. I don't know. I would love to discuss it with someone. Or if you guys would be really excited to see an ebook version of the paperback. I don't know. But I just didn't think it was worth it business-wise, if that makes sense. So let me know, Jackie, if you have any other thoughts on that or questions about that. Because at the end of the day too, it's like, as we're publishing, we've spent so much money on the book. It's like we're trying to figure out the best way to like get the books to readers that is feasible and financially, helpful for them, but also that we actually make some of our money back so we can keep putting out more books. Janine also asked, in your next release, will you reveal your titles or covers earlier or later than you did with this one? Would you have announced that you are self-publishing later or earlier? I think I liked the time frame that I had. When I was doing the ebooks, I was able to do pre-orders. So I can't even remember. Was it like a month or two before the first ebook came out? Maybe it was a couple months. I can't remember how long that pre-order was, but I did like giving myself more time when I had a pre-order, because then I could actually shoot people to like, you can go buy the book already, like before it's out. With me not being able to do a pre-order with the paperback, I was like, I don't want to have too much time because some people are going to get really excited about the book, but then forget about it by the time it comes out. So I think I only gave myself like a month where I like revealed the cover and the fact that it was coming out and all kinds of stuff, so I could really build up to it. And I really liked that. So I'll let you know if I change my thoughts for future books, but that was my thought for this one. And CV says, oh my gosh, congrats, that's so exciting, thank you. And let's see, I did get a marketing question as well. The marketing process, what was the marketing process like before publishing? How do you sell the book prior to it coming out? And so I actually did, I don't have an image for this, but I did a interview with, oh my gosh, help me Lord, names. I'm forgetting. I'm gonna have to link it down below. I'm having like a pregnancy mind blank right now. Carly and Brooke. My brain. So wonderful, wonderful ladies who are also authors. One of them is coming out with her debut soon. They have an AuthorTube channel called Carly and Brooke, and they interviewed me about marketing and about specifically with a serial, but I talked very generally about a bunch of different stuff. There's 2 different videos, and in those videos, and one of them is especially I give tips about like marketing before your book comes out. But real quick, that's just somewhere you can go for even more information. But I found it really helpful before the book was ready to just share like what the process was like, when I was plotting, when I was editing, when I was drafting. And I went in the avenue of sharing, like kind of teaching what I was learning as I was going. You don't have to do that. You can just share the experience and the milestones and the hard parts, and just little tidbits about the story. as you work on it and as you share those tidbits, people can tell you if they're really excited about the book. And so you kind of know if you're like, you have a book that's going to be marketable once it's out. And I'm trying to think what other things I said because right now my mind is blanking. But just talking about the book, sharing whatever sneak peeks you can without giving too much away, sharing, you know, little things that are in progress. I think I shared like my first pages a couple different times over the process because the first pages kept changing. You could give it as a newsletter freebie. There's a lot of different things that you could do, but I could probably make that a whole video on my own as well. But hopefully some of those tips help you. And then by the time, you know, you get to a point where you're ready to put out the book, I would also, before that time, really get people to sign up to a newsletter where people are like anxiously anticipating the book coming out. And starting from 2017, when I opened up my newsletter, my website, I think it was 2017 or 2018. I almost have like 5,000 subscribers on my newsletter list. And now there's a good contingent of them that are just interested in the writing stuff, but I have a lot of them that are really excited about the books as well. And I've built that up over time so that when the books come out, there's a bunch of people really excited, like you guys too, here on YouTube and Instagram. So also picking like a social media that you can interact with people, tell them about it. Now I'm just blabbing, but I should watch the interview that I did with Carly and Brooke because I explained it a whole lot more succinctly. Um, Daniel says, we're going to finish up with the last couple comments and then we're going to close. I did not expect that this would be a whole hour all on my own, but because sometimes I have like guests and stuff with me. Well, we're going to close up soon, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Daniel says, interested to hear your thoughts on KU and if you're planning to go wide. Loving the stream. Yay. Real quick, I'm really enjoying KU. I enjoy like pretty much every day. I see people in my KU dashboard, my Kindle and direct publishing dashboard, showing me that there's people reading my books, my ebooks especially, pretty much every single day. And so that's really exciting for me. Financially, I'm still tracking that since the books have only been out. All of them have only been out since October. So if I'm going to do a video about my full thoughts about KU and if it was worth it for me and what I liked, what I didn't like, I feel like I need a few more months of more statistics and more things to compare it to. And now that I have the paperback book, I could compare it to that because this is not in KU all in one. I think I could give you more information, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And I think it's really fun because I know that there are people that don't know who I am who are organically finding it on KU to read it and binge the series and help me find more readers that I wouldn't already connect with without having to pay for advertising and stuff like that. So thoughts. Alex says, haha, pregnancy brain is so great. What are words? What are words? I have no idea anymore. It's actually really impressive that I've been on here for an hour and that was like the first big like brain blowout. Avian says, how did you keep the different fairy characters from sounding the same? Go check out, did I show this yet? Go check out, hold on, I'm going to go back. Go check out this video. I knew I was linking this one for a reason. Stronger characters with the Enneagram. It's one of my recent videos. It might even be the one right before this one that published. Using the Enneagram was the easiest and most comprehensive way to make sure that each of my characters had different personalities and sounded different and had different motivations and fears and desires. And I had that going on before I found out the Enneagram, but it like skyrocketed to a whole nother level as I applied the Enneagram to my characters. So go watch that. It'll give you like everything you need to know. And you can always ask me more questions. So CB, I hope that helps you too. Literally, yeah, I think it's the video like right before this that published. Bethany is another one of my CPs. Thank you so much. So happy for you. Thank you. Yay. Okay. I think I answered all the questions. So I will just say, because we're literally at an hour, that thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun to celebrate with you guys and talk to you guys live because I haven't done a live stream in a while. The book is available on Amazon. Again, you can get all these wonderful, let's get back to the screen, hold on. You can get all these wonderful book bonuses that I was showing you before. Let's get back here. Behind the scenes booklet, soundtrack playlist, free desktop wallpaper, merch discount to my merch store, signed book plate, and a character art / map postcard. You can get all of these things just by purchasing the book and then filling out the form on my website so that you can get it. Whew, I really can't breathe, you guys. Oh, the baby is pushing on my stomach. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this stream. I hope you got a lot out of the Q&A. And if you're not ready to order the book yet, you can just add it to your TBR on Goodreads. And so I've linked down below the link to the Goodreads for this guy as well. And also, if you're, I know a lot of you are like purely following me just because you love the writing advice, but if you are also super excited to really learn more about my books and keep in track with what's coming up next, subscribing to my newsletter is great. And also following me on TikTok at Brittany Wang Books is going to be like an exclusive place for like YA fantasy fandoms and sharing about my books. So anywho, I saw Stevie saying, woo, there goes my spending money. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be worth it though. I hope you enjoyed the story. And again, we're going to have, in like a month or so, we're going to have that end of book, spoilery kind of book chat here on my channel. So if you order it and get to read it in like a month or so, you can come to that book chat and talk about all the things. That would be really fun. Book babies and real babies. I love it. Exactly. Yes, I haven't posted like a shot of my tummy yet, but now it's like at this place that you can actually tell I'm pregnant. So maybe I'll do that soon. Thank you guys so much. I'm really glad it was inspiring. I've loved just following other authors on my own writing journey and seeing their processes and asking them questions. So being able to like kind of give back to you guys and do this with you guys is so rewarding and so fun. So thanks for coming. And Scott, thank you. I will keep up the great work, you too. And I'll just end by saying that I'm hugely grateful to my patrons and my YouTube members who help support this channel. I would not be able to do what I'm doing without them. So they're all listed there at the bottom of the screen. And thank you so much for watching. You guys are amazing. And we will see you in the next video. All right, bye.